Oh, now you're breaking out the ginger beer after that then?
Well, I think anybody that knows my favourite tipple's Bar's Iron Brew. So, but no, I mean, I think what was important that we won the game. I mean, because we recognise we've had a slow start through a couple of different reasons, but certainly there was no point, as I say, looking at excuses. We had to stand up and be counted today. We had to show what Bolton Wanderers are all about collectively, and the talking had to stop. It was time to deliver on a performance. We did that today from start to finish, and that's got to be the catalyst now to move us forward. And so it was pleasing. I thought, we trained very well this week. I knew that. I could see it, the intensity in the training ground, the focus the players had. We made 5 changes, some big calls today. But again, the players were up for the challenge, because Stoke City, regardless of who you play in this Barclays Premier League, nobody will put you under, as much pressure or duress in your own penalty box as Stoke City do with long throws and set plays. But they stood up, as I say, to a man, defended with their lives, and then when they earned the right in the platform of the game, passed and moved the ball well, culminating in some very good goals. With a few other chances as well. So we're absolutely delighted that they were clinical today. But we've always been a goal threat. I gave that goal threat up a little bit last week at Swansea to go and get something from the game, and it was going to plan and uncontrollable. We got down to 10 men. So there's been little bits and pieces that went against us. But what we do know is when we're focused and bring that level of performance, we're more than capable of winning games in the Barclays Premier League.
What about that opening goal, though? That was a big break for you, wasn't it?
Well, I felt it was very inventive and very clever thinking. I mean, I don't think I would need to see it back. My initial thoughts was it was a pass back, because I shouted for it myself from a technical area. And then Ivan, knowing how clever he is as a footballer, as soon as he had the ball in his hands, then I knew he was looking for that quick free kick, football intelligence, and he did it. The skipper had anticipated it, and it was a great finish. So I felt it was a clever piece of play. Other people might have their own ideas on it, but for me, that was, and you're right, the first goal is always crucial in the Barclays Premier League, and it gave us a platform to move forward. But we did that, and we did it at high intensity with real quality on the ball. Some big performances today. Young Joe Riley brought in, he's just a kid making his way in the game.
How did you decide to throw him in today? What made you do that?
Well, he's been in my thoughts now for the last 3-4 weeks, because he's trained by the first team. He's already played this season in the Carling Cup, and he was outstanding in the game. And people look and think, well, it was Stoke City, but I knew he was ready for it. I spoke to him 1-on-1 this week, and there's no doubt the way he trained. He'd merited playing with his performances in the reserves, and how he trained with the first team. And he was ready for that, and I took him off purposely, as you know, with 30 seconds to go.
That old managerial trick.
Well, he'd earned that standing ovation from his own supporters. And I said that to the way off, make sure you're getting loads of that because of how hard you work in the game. And he has a chance. He has a chance to continue to develop. And if he does that, then there's no doubt he's set for a fantastic career in football.
Did he hear the crowd singing One Joe Riley at the end? Do you know?
I think he heard that. I think he was singing it in the way off. So it was great. He's a great kid, he really is. And he was, he was focused. He was ready to go and give a big performance. I'm delighted for him, as I am for everybody at the football club. Our supporters have been through, as we all know, a horrible couple of months. It was important we gave them something to smile about. We did that today, but what we have to do is not rest in the laurels, look to move forward. The 3 points are so valuable, it catapults us into amongst 7 or 8 teams, and that's what we have to do to move up this league.
Could easily be that first goal is a big turning point in your season, couldn't it?
Well, any goals could be turning points in your season. I mean, we've had some horrible luck, as you know. I had probably 5 players out, injured, that would probably start in my team or be close to starting in my team. We knew that when we played the elite clubs back to back with the 5 that will finish the top 6 this year, that ate away a little bit of confidence. And sometimes confidence is crucial in football. Yeah, it's massive. And the players were obviously a little bit fragile. That's why we had to start well today, take the game on. They've did that, and it's all credit to them. And now what we have to do, as I've said before, show that level of consistency. There's no point performing at that level today and then not doing that for another 3 games. It has to be game in, game out. And if we do that, as we've shown in my 2 years, we'll move up the league.
But has it sort of reaffirmed your belief that you're doing the right things?
I never had to reaffirm my belief. I'm a better manager now than I've ever been. 7 years experience, and yes, I can accept that it's been an upward spiral all the way, and people have been very nice with plaudits. But you're always tested. It'll never ever run smooth. And when you have, then you're tested. You have to meet it head on, any challenge you face. But I came into the game, and I'm not being clever after the event. I had a good feeling coming into the match. Went to Mass last night, and the leaving hymn was Pray for the Wanderers. So I knew I'll need to thank my parish priest for that. So I knew we were on the right way, and it certainly worked today.
Tony, you look as though you're absolutely seething about what's happened here today. What are you most upset about?
No, I've managed the club, I think, for over 8.5 years, and that's as disappointing a performance as any that I've managed. We just didn't compete. We looked second best all over the pitch, and it's very, very disappointing.
People will look at the schedule that you've had this week. Is that an
No,
excuse?
I don't think you can. Like I said before, I don't think you can use. I could stand here and say, given the game Monday and then Thursday in Israel, which has taken a long time to get out and a long time to get back in, has affected the players. But it shouldn't affect the players from not what I consider to be competitive. And we weren't competitive today. We were poor all over the pitch. Whether the first goal should have stood or not, that's irrelevant. If the referee's made a mistake, he's made a mistake, but that doesn't justify the performance of the players.
The opening goal, though, was undoubtedly a turning point, wasn't it?
Turning point to what? We were poor from that point to the end. We still had, 89 minutes to go, even extra time over 90 minutes. We were just very, very poor all over the pitch. And you have to, or I have to come here and accept it. But it's desperately disappointing that, I'm managing a team that's put in a performance like that.
Have you got grievance or grievances about that opening goal?
No, not at all. I've got grievances the way we've played, but forget the opening goal.
People also will perhaps look to the fact that after Kiev, you lost heavily at Sunderland, and after this week, you've lost heavily here. Should we make anything of that?
We want to, we've set our stall out and we want to do well in cup competitions. We want to do that, but our performances, have got to be better than that. And yeah, we got the short straw. I think we've played 8 or 9 games in Europe, and every game that we come back to is an away match. So we haven't got the help of our supporters. But having said that, that's no excuse for the performance today.
So people might say, can you cope with it all? Can you cope with all of the commitments that you have?
And it's not about coping, it's about giving effort and commitment. And like I say, they're paid very, very good money, the players are today. And, the one thing you expect, if we'd have gone out there and competed and been as competitive as Bolton and got beat, then fine. And in other games we have done that and got beat. I'll have that, I'll accept that. But to do what we've done today, we've just completely outfought and outbattled by Bolton, and we got what we deserved, nothing.